Greetings to thee, kind viewer. I am William Shakespeare, the Bard of Avon, whose quill has given birth to some of the most treasured tales in the English tongue. I invite thee to journey back with me through the annals of time, to Elizabethan England, and the stage of my life. I was born in the year of our Lord 1564, in the humble town of Stratford-Upon-Avon. I was the third of 8 children born to John Shakespeare, a respectable glove maker and local alderman, and Mary Arden, a woman of goodly heritage. My parents, seeing the spark in my youthful eyes, ensured I received a good education. I attended the King's New School, where I was introduced to the classics of Latin literature, the works of Ovid, Plautus, and Seneca, which would later greatly influence my own writings. At the tender age of 18, I wed Anne Hathaway, a woman 8 years my senior. Together we had 3 children, Susanna, and the twins, Hamnet and Judith. My domestic life was tranquil, but the stage of London called to me, whispering promises of grand tales waiting to be spun. In the late 1580s, I found myself in the heart of London, amidst the burgeoning world of English Renaissance drama. I began my career as an actor and a playwright for the Lord Chamberlain's Men, a company of players. We performed at the theatre, the first permanent theatre ever built in England. It was here that I penned my early plays, comedies like The Comedy of Errors and The Taming of the Shrew, and histories like Henry VI and Richard III. My work quickly gained recognition for its wit, poetic elegance, and depth of character. I was not merely a playwright, I was a shaper of souls, a weaver of dreams. I breathed life into characters, making them live and breathe on stage, their joys and sorrows, their loves and hatreds becoming those of the audience. In 1599, my company built the Globe Theatre, a wooden O that would become the home of many of my greatest plays. Here, under the open sky, I staged tragedies of such profound human emotion that they shook the viewer to their core. Romeo and Juliet, Othello, Macbeth, King Lear, and Hamlet were not just stories, they were mirrors held up to nature, reflecting the very essence of the human condition. Even as I delved into the darkest corners of the human soul, I also penned comedies that made the heart light with laughter. Plays like Much Ado About Nothing, As You Like It, and Twelfth Night charmed audiences with their wit, humor, and insight into the human heart. In the early 17th century, I began to write what are now called my late romances, or tragicomedies. These plays, including Pericles, Cymbeline, The Winter's Tale, and The Tempest, combine elements of tragedy and comedy, often leading characters through trials and tribulations towards a harmonious resolution. In the midst of this prolific output, I was not just a man of the theater. I was also a poet, and in times when plague closed the theaters, I turned my focus to my poetry. My sonnets, a sequence of 154 poems, explore themes of love, beauty, time, and mortality. They are perhaps my most personal works, providing a window into my own heart and mind. In 1613, the Globe Theatre burnt down during a performance of my play Henry VIII. It was a sign, perhaps, that my time in London was drawing to a close. I returned to Stratford-Upon-Avon, where I lived out the remainder of my days in relative peace. I passed away on April 23, 1616, leaving behind a body of work that has endured through the ages. I often wonder if I knew, in those early days in Stratford, that my tales would span the globe and the centuries. I was but a humble bard, yet my stories have touched the hearts of millions. From the bustling streets of London to the farthest corners of the world, my characters have laughed, wept, and loved. They have been kings and beggars, lovers and warriors, fools and philosophers. Through their joys and sorrows, their triumphs and tragedies, I have sought to hold a mirror up to nature, to reveal the essence of the human spirit. In my life, I have worn many masks: a son, a student, a husband, a father, an actor, a poet, a playwright. But above all, I am a storyteller. My stories are my legacy, my gift to the world. They are the threads that weave the tapestry of human experience, threads of love, jealousy, ambition, despair, and redemption. As I take my leave, dear viewer, I offer thee this counsel: live thy life as if it were a play, embracing each joy, each sorrow, each triumph, and each defeat with a full heart. For as I have often written, all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. So, as thou goest forth, remember my tale. Remember the Bard of Avon, who, with a quill and a dream, crafted stories that have echoed through the ages. And in thy own life story, find the courage to dream, to love, to suffer, and to rejoice. For in doing so, thou dost not merely live. Thou dost become a part of the grand, beautiful play that is the human experience. Fare thee well, dear viewer. May my tale inspire thee to craft thine own, filled with all the beauty, tragedy, and joy that life doth offer. Remember, the play's the thing wherein will catch the conscience of the king, and of us all.